with another episode of Inspire Value Daily. So, in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about a very, very important subject at hand. This is more geared towards the college students. Um, by the way, guys, I'm 22, so I am speaking from my own experience and basically like what I've learned up to this point so far in my own journey. And so, let me tell you something, guys. I know that actually, what I actually didn't realize was this month was graduation month. And I just realized that just this morning. I'm like, wait a second. This month in June was mostly graduation month for a lot of people, and also specifically, college students. And so here I am just like thinking, what could I actually, think about? And actually, funny enough, I was watching one of Gary Vee's videos. The video is titled "The Ultimate College Graduation Speech." By the way, guys, when you get the chance, check that video out. It's very powerful. It speaks on so many levels and it opens up a whole different perspective that you probably have never thought of before. But just to give credit where credit is due, the content that I'm going to be talking about comes from that video. So let me start off by saying that the one advantage that you and me, and by the way, for all the college students that are actually watching this, do you know the advantage that you and me actually have is our youth? That's right. With our youth, that means time is on our side. You look at somebody who's 40 or older, time is not so much on their side. But with us, time is on our side. So we should really utilize this time. And by the way, if you're 22 years old like me, and if you just graduated, or if you haven't graduated yet, or probably aren't going to, well, regardless of either, you want to actually figure out what it is that you really want to do. And remember this, guys, when you're figuring out something that you want to do, something that speaks to you, something that you're passionate about, don't ever settle. And don't feel in a rush to find it, too. Because, don't feel the pressure of, like, let's say, for example, your expectations from your own parents. Your parents might expect you that they want you to get that job that they always envisioned for you, expecting you to actually have, and then, start making, maximizing money as much as possible. So all the stuff that we learned from school, it all doesn't really shift into the real world. You see, something that we've got to do, if you haven't done so already, we got to get into the real world rhythm. And as we're doing that, we have to make it our job to not beat ourselves up if it doesn't come easy yet. What we should do right now at this very moment, if you haven't done so already, is we got to decompose from the old environment. We got to undo all that old programming that we've been programmed with ever since we were little kids. And, not a whole lot of people are going to tell you this, guys. And so another thing that I was just thinking about that somebody around my age, or is my age, could be thinking is that, well, I've just graduated from college and I just don't really know what to do with my life. I've graduated, I've gotten my degree. What is it that I do right now? Well, I'm going to tell you something. It's not so much that you're lost. You're actually not lost in life. You're only lost by other people's expectations. Now I'm going to repeat that again. You're only lost by other people's expectations. You're just early on in the process, just like I am. And you got to realize that, you and me are actually only 20% of the way in life, whereas, somebody like in their 40s or over is like more into it in their life, if you know what I mean. And so, if you're 22 right now, or if you're in your 20s, for the next 5 years, or 3, or 8 for some, whatever that depends on, don't go practical and safe. Don't go for short-term gains. Take this time right now, right here, to start taking risk. And this is not the time to get that job that your family always envisioned for you, or to maximize money so you can just buy expensive shit just to impress people. Because that's what it really is, guys. I mean, for instance, it blows my mind, like, how many young people will, shell out loans just to buy that fancy sports car just to impress a girl. I mean, or it could be something like, oh yeah, look at this expensive watch that I buy, and you show it off to other people, because that's what it really is, guys. We just spend so much time investing into things that we necessarily don't need. And when we buy expensive stuff, it's just like we're just only doing that to impress people. We don't actually need it. And I'll give you an example, guys. I think I remember Gary Vee talking in one of his other videos, is that, the people that actually have a house with 7 rooms, they don't utilize all 7 rooms. It's just for show. They just do it to impress other people. So, with that said, here's an important thing that you need to remember. From here on out, stop giving a fuck about what other people have or what's going on with their life. And, I'm guilty of this too. Before, when there was a time that I was just feeling really depressed and just feeling like I wasn't getting so much support, and I realized that I was caring more so much about what other people are doing and what other people have and what's going on with their life, that I wasn't really interested in what's going on with my own life. And so that was a wake-up call for me, and I'm like, shit, I gotta just get off on Facebook and get off, like, all these other social media of, people that I know that, instead of just focusing on that, instead of focusing, and by the way, instead of focusing on what other people have or what's going on with their life, focus on building something for yourself. That's right. Focus on building something for yourself. Like me, for instance, I'm focusing on building my online business. Now, with building something like an online business, like for me, is, you got to realize that it doesn't happen overnight. And with that, and it doesn't matter, whether it's online business or maybe you want to start that musician band that you always wanted to do, really deploy patience. Because with deploying patience, it'll encourage you to take risk moving forward. And I know some of you might be sitting there and thinking, well, I mean, what are other people going to think of me if I do this? What if I get laughed at? What if I get made fun of? Don't give a shit about that. Seriously, you got to quit caring about what other people are thinking about you. Don't value someone else's opinion over your own. Because your own opinion, what you think, is what's going to matter at the end of the day. And I'll tell you something about something scarier than taking risk. You know what's scarier than taking risk and failing? Is regret. Now, here's something that I want you guys to get from this, if anything. Nobody defines you but you. And with that, take this time right here, right now, today, from this day forward, to give it your all, and just don't waste these next several years of your life moving forward, because, we're at a time that is probably our greatest window that we have for, the next 3, 5, or 8 years. We got to realize that we got to give it our all, and we got to not squander it, and we got to really take this time to really go after the life that we want. And that's all I've got to say for Inspire Value Daily here today. And with that said, I hope you got a ton of value out of today's video. And if you did, please like, comment, share, comment below. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was. And if you got value out of today's video, please do me a huge, 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 huge favor. This would mean so much to me. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell if you haven't already. And one more thing, guys. Be sure to click the link in the description to learn more against Insider Access. Leave me your name and your email, and I will see you on the inside. All right, guys, so with that said, that concludes today's episode of Inspire Value Daily. I'm Mark Castillo here, and catch you guys all on the next YouTube Live and the next Inspire Value Daily episode. So take care, guys.